What's going on? This is Julian with the Game Fanatics, and we are back with another video. And today we're going to be checking out a couple of items here. One of those being the Recon 500 headset in this Arctic white colorway. And then we also have the Recon controller, which is really cool. So I'm actually going to start with this headset because it's a little bit more simple. So as you can see, this is a wired headset. It has a really nice braided 3.5 millimeter cable. It also has a removable mic here. And since this is wired, this does work on multiple consoles and platforms. You will see here on the side, we have a mute button, which is very useful, especially for wired headsets. Sometimes it's really not that easy, so that's just a really quick press and unpress. You can tell when it's muted. Then we have the volume rocker here. And like I said, the sound is really, really good. It's really comfortable on my head. The ear cups are like this mesh material, stays pretty cool. And it's not really like some headsets have like that leather that sometimes gets a little hot, a little sweaty. We do not have that issue here. And these, the mesh tends to last a little bit longer when it comes to the different headsets that I've used over the time. Yeah, the sound is really good. I've used this both on my Xbox Series X. I've used it on my PlayStation 5 and I used it on my Switch. In all cases, the sound is great. I'm really, really enjoying this headset. Right now, it's kind of like the main headset I'm using for a few reasons. One, I just don't have to charge it. It's a wired headset. The sound is really good. And as we move over to this Recon controller, you get a lot of the features that you may get in those other Recon headsets from Turtle Beach. I'm going to talk about that a little more. But what comes in the box with the controller, of course, you have your instruction manuals and things like that. You have this really long braided high quality cable. I think it's about 3 meters, USB-C to USB-A, or vice versa, depending on how you like to look at those things. So we'll go over and take a look at the controller. So you'll notice here that you have these kind of pads that are on the grips of the controller. These help keep your hands from being too hot, too sweaty. It seems to be, because I am a kind of a lightly sweaty hand guy when I'm playing games. It does seem to help a little bit, and yeah, I can't really complain about that. As you can probably hear, let me put it next to the mic. All the buttons are very clicky. The controller has been very responsive, and that kind of goes to, if you look here on the bottom, you have these 2 mappable buttons, but I think by default, the first button here on the left, when you press that while aiming, it slows down the left left thumbstick, which kind of helps with your accuracy when you're aiming and doing different things in first-person shooters. The triggers and the bumpers have a really, really good kind of grippy texture on them. You won't slip off of these buttons much, and it's the same on these programmable buttons here. And like I said, they are programmable, and I was wondering how programming the controller would work, because I use a Elite controller as well, and you have to do that within the console itself. But here, there's actually a combination of buttons that you need to press, and then so you press the button you want to remap, you go through the combination, then you press the button that you want to map that button to. It's very simple and not really hard at all. It's really great. A couple other things before I get into some of my favorite features are you have the chat up and down, and you have a volume up and down here. When it comes to audio, I really like that you can plug any headset into this controller and get a lot of customization that you don't have on some of the more simple headsets. And that kind of goes to why this is a perfect pairing when it comes to using the Recon headset and the Recon controller together, because some people really don't like to recharge their headsets all the time, kind of in the middle of the battle, and now you have to swap something out. And if you're not like me where you have multiple headsets, that can be a real burden. So this is definitely great. The controller is wired, and in many cases, a lot of competitive gamers, if they're using a controller, they prefer it to be wired just to cut down that response time. To a normal person like me, it may not make that much of a difference, but in those competitive situations, every millisecond counts. And going over to, let me throw this around my neck, the controller itself, and how it integrated a lot of the technology from the Recon wireless headsets into the controller, the things like the supersonic hearing and different EQ things. It's just really cool. I think I forgot to kind of point this out earlier. It does have a mute here as well. Then you have the button that sets for the that uses or enables the supersonic hearing. And what that does is, so if you're familiar with the wireless Recon headsets, they have kind of this spatial audio technology that allows you to kind of pinpoint where someone is shooting from, or pinpoint certain sounds or enhance certain sounds. And now with this controller, you're able to put that technology into any wired headset. And I really just think that is really cool. And kind of going back to a few of the other things that I like I said, there's 2 programmable buttons on the back. I do use a Xbox Elite controller, but I will say that in most cases I only use 2 of the pads, and I really like just the 2 buttons because sometimes all the extra pads kind of get in the way. And this controller is a lot lighter than the Elite controller, but that does not mean they skimp on the quality. The build quality here is really nice. I don't know, I'm just really into this controller right now. And for those who don't have the money, the $200 to spend on an Elite controller, this one is a lot cheaper. You can get the headset and the controller for maybe half the price of what it costs to get an Elite controller. And I will say, still love my Elite controller, but for those who can't really just dump $200 into a controller, this is a great option. And another thing that I kind of forgot about, unlike the Elite controller, they haven't really updated the Elite controllers to kind of the new standard. I do like that they have the capture button on here, because I miss a lot of things that I try to capture when I'm using my Elite controller, and I really love that they put the capture button here. But yeah, if you want this controller, go ahead and check out, it should be at most retailers. You can check out the Turtle Beach website. This does come in a black color as well, and the headset also comes in a different colorway as well, so definitely check that out. Yeah, I can't recommend this enough. I want to thank Turtle Beach for sending this over for me to review. For more details, more in-depth details, check out the Game Fanatics and the article that I'll be posting, and I'll see you next time.